Hello, YouTube. I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm okay. This is Night Seeking Bear. Hi, everybody. And I just want to thank you for tuning in to this video. Mwah! 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 Okay. Well, this is a video response to the TheShoeWhisperer's Have Some Respect video. And the reason I'm doing a video response to her video is because what she has done is basically, technically, is a response to my Say No to Wicca video. Basically, in my old Say No to Wicca video, which was my intro video here on YouTube, I was, for the most part, in every single way attacking the idiotic arguments made by none other than Captain Awesome, who I was poking fun at the time. I called him Captain Not So Awesome. The reason I was attacking Captain Not So Awesome was because he was attacking a lot of the Wiccans in the YouTube community, my fellow Wiccans on here. And he was basically making a lot of ridiculous statements that were totally untrue. Like, for example, he claimed that, well, all Wiccans were emo, and that all emo were Wiccans. And that he was trying to conflate Wicca and emo as if these people who are in Wicca are so depressed with their lives they just want to sound suicidal and all that nonsense. Well, for one thing, that's not true. There may be a few people who practice Wicca who are into emo, who are of that type, but it strikes me as unfair to label every single Wiccan as emo or every single emo person as Wiccan simply because of the fact that, well, some people just have this ill-conceived notion of Wicca and emo being one and the same, which is not true. Also, he made this claim that all goths are Wiccan and all Wiccans are goths, which is a bald-faced lie. Some goths are, yes, Wiccan. Some Wiccans are goths. They do dress gothic. Some do dress in black. There is some truth to that. However, to say that all of them, we need to lump everybody into this category, that we need to paint everybody with a broad brush because of this wrongly conceived notion of somebody, because we have to stereotype them and we have to make all these sorts of baseless generalizations of a particular group and mesh, not only that, but also make other generalizations of another group and mesh those two together as if they're one and the same is just idiotic. I read some of the comments that Laura Lee and you were talking about in one of the chats that we've had, and for a young Wiccan to basically come across my video and thinking, well, I thought he was being a little bit rude. Well, I wasn't trying to be rude. That was the thing. I was really that night trying to create this idea that I was trying to set the record straight. I've had a number of people who say, great for sticking up to us. If you read a lot of the comments on that video, I would say about 85 to 90% of the people who responded in those comments stood up for me. I've had a few negative complaints because of what I said, and yes, I did use colorful language in the video, and I did, as a matter of fact, let everybody know in advance that there was colorful language in the video. I made no secret that there was such language in that video. It was going to be in there one way or the other. But, you know, the problem with people like Captain Awesome is that when you make a statement about a particular group, and you're going to attack a group, and you're going to make comments, and you're going to be critical of that group, you need to do your research. That was another thing I was criticizing him about. He didn't know anything about Wiccans and Wicca because he didn't do any research. He didn't even devote any time to understand what our beliefs were, what our practices were, how we're different from Christians. I mean, you know, one of the advantages that we have as Wiccans is that we don't proselytize. We're not organized, but we do lay it out there. We do say, well, you know, we believe in this, but we're not going to shove it down your throat. We're not going to make you conform to it because we want you to. Whereas a number of Christians will do that, and I'm talking the evangelical types. Yes, there are evangelical atheists out there, but that's a whole different story. As far as the point that you made a lot of great points in your video. For example, you said that not all Christians are bad. Well, that is true. There are some good Christians out there, and I laud those Christians out there, in fact, of the Unitarian types. And there are some good Christians out there who don't basically pass judgment on people. Unfortunately, they only represent a minority of it, because Christianity tends to be on the conservative side, whereas Wicca is on the liberal side. One other crucial point that you made, and I think it's a very important point you made, is that we need to respect each other, because going to war each other on YouTube really makes no sense. It's not going to work. You're absolutely right. My focus was not to go to war with somebody. My focus was to set the record straight against somebody who is basically spreading some bald-faced lies about us. And, it's probably illiberal for one Wiccan to basically attack a Christian who basically is very antagonistic, but sometimes we have to defend ourselves, and sometimes it comes to a point where, yes, we can respect their religion, we can respect their beliefs, but there's a certain point where if they cross the line, then we can't just idly sit by and let them get away with it. We can't let them smear us. There's so much you can take and so much abuse you can take from that person that you can't just constantly turn the other cheek and just try to ignore it. You can ignore it for so long, but it gets to a point where it becomes overwhelming, and you got to address that. Now, there are probably better ways to address it and not be so antagonistic and so combative about it and so belligerent about it, but you can't just idly sit by and pretend it never happens, because it does. I think you made some wonderful points. I think we need to get along and love each other. That's the important thing. And that's my hope. I don't want people to war with each other. I want people to love each other, because in so many ways we're so much alike. We're in the 21st century. We're no longer in the Dark Ages. We're no longer in the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, or even the 20th centuries anymore. We're now in the 21st century, and we have to love and respect each other, no matter what. Thank you very much, everybody. I love you all. Good night. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And please, be good to each other. Love each other. Respect each other. Until then, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again, and blessed be well.